Well, good evening and good weekend to you. This is David Van with Sooner Politics, and it is Weekend Report. Glad to have you all here tonight. I hope you're enjoying the warmth of inside on this snowy and cold winter night in January. We've got a lot of things going on in the news this week. It's really been a big week, so let's get right into it. Headlines: Stitt takes office. This Monday, Kevin Stitt and all of the statewide elected leaders took their oath of office. It was a fantastic day down at the Capitol for the inauguration. In fact, there were a number of events all over the state leading up to it and some afterward. There's a lot of excitement in the state. There's also some people that we are bidding farewell to, and some of them with a lot of excitement we're saying goodbye to. Mary Fallon has left office. Now, Sarah and Kevin Stitt and their rather large family are now the occupants of the governor's mansion, but they don't want to live there, at least not now. I mean, I found out that that place is, it's a health hazard right now. Do you know that basement is full of water? I mean, the plumbing is horrible, the roof leaks. Oh my goodness. I think Kevin might be staying there during the week, but his wife Sarah and the kids are going to stay back in Tulsa. At least I think they're going to go ahead and finish the school year in Tulsa. You know, uprooting your whole family when your kids are young, especially in their teen years, it's difficult. And the Stitt family's no different than you or I. They're just very typical, good Oklahoma families. And anyway, so we're going to be seeing some major renovation happening at the governor's mansion. Folks, we got to take care of that. I am shocked that the Fallon family and Christensen family, I guess, if they've said anything about it, I didn't know it, but I mean, there's mold in there. God, who can live in that? You certainly don't want your kids in there. But Stitt's off and running. He's got some new cabinet posts he's announcing this week. There's plenty more to come. There are some things I can't talk about yet, but I am fantastically excited about what's going on. Stitt's got a lot of things, a lot of ambitious designs. The rest of the statewide elected officers are already hitting it with everything they got. Matt Pinnell has been pitching the state, both in and outside the state. You know, he's taking on tourism. Matt's well suited for that. His college degree is in business and marketing, and he's excited about building up Oklahoma. That's not all he's going to do, but that's something that traditionally the Lieutenant Governor has spent a lot of focused time on. I did have a chance to speak about a week ago with Randy McDaniel, our new state treasurer. He plans to continue what Ken Miller's been doing with the economic forecasts. Folks, those are great resources to find out what's going on in the state economically. So we're excited. We're getting ready for here in February 4th. We're going to have the State of the State address. Governor Stitt's going to be addressing a joint session of our legislature. Where I'm probably going to try to make it down there for that. Hope to see some of you there. There's a lot of things going on. In fact, let's going to go on to our next issue tonight. Welcome back to Weekend Report with Sooner Politics. This is David Van, and we're on page 2. 2,800 bills. Oh my goodness, there are a lot of bills at the Capitol right now. Folks, we can't go through all of them here, but Sooner Politics has devoted a lot of resources. In fact, we have a special column called Legislative Watch. Hope you get a chance to read that at SoonerPolitics.org. We're going through bills every week. We're adding a bunch of bills we're going through. Okay, so here's the deal. there's no way we're going to have floor votes on all 2,800 bills. In fact, we're probably not going to have floor votes on 20% of those bills. But every legislator is going to want to make his mark. Some of them have been, just a little bit reserved, especially with this large incoming freshman class. A number of them are saying, I think I'm just going to study here, see what some of my colleagues have done, and see what ideas I can get behind. Maybe we can even get rid of some of the laws. There's a lot of laws in Oklahoma that are so outdated. We need to get them off the book. I did talk with an incoming freshman Republican from Tulsa, Jeff Boatman. He spoke to the Tulsa Republican Assembly on Tuesday night, and that was his sentiments. He said, I think I need to just watch how things are done. It's not a bad idea, Jeff. I commend you for it. Sometimes it's better to watch your colleagues make a fool of themselves and learn from their example than to step in it. But so we've got a lot going on. Now there's going to be a lot of people at the Capitol. I think I told you last week about the Ethics Commission trying to basically make you register as a lobbyist if you have just a little bit of an elevated interaction at the Capitol, or sometimes your pastor might step in it and have to file as a lobbyist just from what he preaches on Sunday from the pulpit. Unbelievable. The Ethics Commission, which has no authority over private citizens, they were commissioned just to keep an eye on elected officials and our state government. But instead, they're getting into mission creep, and we've got to stop them. Hopefully, our legislature is going to do that. I look forward to wading through 2,800 bills with you, my fellow Oklahomans. So get ready, buckle down. I hope I see you at the Capitol. I know there's a lot of things that have got me pretty worked up, and there's a lot of things. In fact, we're going to go through a few of them yet tonight on this webcast. And now this from page 3. Welcome back to Sooner Politics. We're on page 3. Murdoch wants a do-over. This is our good friend Casey Murdoch. He's from the Panhandle, don't you know? He's a cowboy, and seems like he doesn't think we got it right last summer when more Oklahomans went to the polls in any primary than ever before in Oklahoma history. And by a considerable amount, double-digit margin, we passed a new class of medicine into law. The federal government, state government, all the law enforcement tried to stop it, but the people spoke. We now have cannabis medicines, and it couldn't happen too soon. But Murdoch wants a do-over. He filed a bill this last week. Seems he wants every county now to establish what the law is in their county. Doesn't matter about the veterans with PTSD that are trying to get off of the benzodiazepines that the VA's got them on. Many of them are doing fantastic and actually having a productive life just by taking some simple CBD oil with some THC that's helping to calm them, helping to get them some relief. Yeah, sometimes they'll take it in various forms. Sometimes they'll vape it. Sometimes they'll smoke it, don't you know? And sometimes they'll take it in a tincture or an oil form. And you know what? Our veterans deserve our best medicines. I'll tell you another class of people who desperately need help. It's all the pain management patients in Oklahoma. Grandma's got arthritis. She's crippled over. She's in such pain. The opiates quit working. She keeps on trying to get more. Now the doctors are saying, I got to take you off. I can't give you any more. Attorney General got a law passed, said you're abusing it. You got to live with the pain. We got people around the United States now with this new opiate crackdown. They're committing suicide. They're in such despair. They can't live with the pain. Fortunately, new medicines come online for us here in Oklahoma, and that's the CBD oil with the THC synergistic reaction of the two is giving people just fantastic relief. Grandma can sleep 6, 7, maybe 8 hours at night. Maybe the pain's not gone away, but maybe it's tolerable and manageable. No, it doesn't give her a buzz. No, it doesn't make her do loopy things. No, it's not reefer madness. Give Grandma a break. Would you, Murdoch? I mean, really? You're willing to either call all of these people fakes, potheads, or they're expendable. I'm disgusted with this move. He wants to leave it up to each county to decide whether or not those cannabis medicine patients, the children with seizure disorders, having dozens of seizures a day. To Casey, he wants the voters of each county to decide, are these people expendable? Can we do without them? Can we just ignore their pain? I'm disgusted with this. Folks, I want you to get involved here. We've got a lot going on at the Capitol. We've got a lot of people trying to treat this new class of medicine like it's some kind of a druggy thing. You know, everybody who's against this medicine is treating it like it's a casual bunch of college kids trying to get a kick. Bunch of potheads. You know, I tell you what, we need to get on the same page here. We didn't pass recreational. We passed medicinal. And we put the doctors in charge. The doctors who have a relationship with their own patients. Let's get on board. Let's get this thing taken care of. Tell your legislator, say no to the Murdoch marijuana county option bill. Allow this from page 4. All right, we're back for page 4. I've cooled off a little bit. Here's some good news. These folks have been in the legislature a little while. This is Jason Dunnington on my far right, and on your left. And this is John Eccles, Republican. These two, one Democrat, one Republican, are working together. They've worked together in a number of good things. Right now, they're working to reset our drug war, to make sense again. Seems that we've got more people in jail and in prison than any other state, more in our incarceration in our prison system than any other state. We're broke. We are losing out because we're putting people in jail when they haven't victimized anybody. So 2 years ago, we passed State Question 780, State Question 781. Those two things together helped us to reset our war on drugs. If nobody's been victimized, nobody's been exploited, then we're going to make simple possession of a very small amount of marijuana, not a felony with a 5-year prison sentence. We're going to make it a misdemeanor. Yeah, still a misdemeanor. If you don't have a license, if you're not a patient, if you're not under a doctor's treatment regimen, then it's still a misdemeanor. We're not a recreational state. You understand that, Casey Murdoch? We're not a recreational state. How about you, Greg Mashburn, OBN? We're not a recreational state. Let me get back at this. So what we're going to do if we pass the Dunnington and Eccles bill is we're going to go retroactive. Those people sitting in jail, probably serving their 3rd, 4th, 5th year of maybe a 4 or 5 year term for simple possession, we're going to move that back to misdemeanor. Yes, they're still guilty. Yes, it's still on their record. Yes, we're not expunging the record, but we're saying, you know what? 12 months was enough for you for a simple possession of a small amount of marijuana. So I commend Dunnington and Eccles for working together on this. This is some good news. we're actually going to start saving some money, folks. We're actually going to have some money to take care of our roads, to take care of our elderly, to take care of our sick people, because we're done putting people away when they haven't harmed or exploited anybody else. I want to commend a number of legislators that are working together. There's a lot of people signing on to support this bill. I hope you'll ask your legislator to support the Dunnington-Eccles. It's really a retroactive bill on 780, 781. And now this with page 5. Welcome back to Sooner Politics. I'm David Van with Weekend Report. I put up a movie poster here. It's one that Ian Copeland, one of our staff writers, put up. He's rather sarcastic in the way he drives home a point. Did you hear about this in the news? About the hemp truck from Kentucky? I put up a headline basically, well, actually one of my writers did. The Pawhuska police got punked this week. Actually, last week. Did you know Trump passed a bill into law with the support of both Democrats, Republicans in the legislature? Industrial hemp is legal. You know, CBD is legal as an oil. Without the THC, CBD is legal in all 50 states and all U.S. territories, okay? As long as it's got less than a trace amount of THC, you know, it's considered non-psychoactive. It's just a good therapeutic homeopathic remedy, an essential oil, if you will. So some of the best industrial hemp industry in America is in Kentucky. And some of the finest cannabis medicine producers in the nation are in Colorado. Now that we've passed an interstate law that allows for transporting the raw agricultural commodities interstate, now we can really start to develop as an industry on some of these old medicines, except for the Pawhuska police need to get up to speed. So here's what happened. Let me go ahead and move down this poster now that you've had a chance to read it. I tell you what, this thing went viral this week. So the purchaser with Panacea is the name of the company in northern Colorado, bought some of this fantastic hemp from a farmer in northern Kentucky, pretty close to the Ohio River there near Cincinnati. But when he purchased it, it was, 18,000 pounds. And it essentially looks like a mulch. They just chopped up these hemp plants. Because what they want to do is get it out there and extract it, get the oils out of it. So they told the trucking company, now look, it's legal to go through any state. I'm telling you now, stay out of Illinois. They don't know what they're doing. The cops are just going to play heavy-handed with you. And the other thing, stay out of Kansas. They haven't passed any kind of medical marijuana, nothing. But Kentucky, Missouri, Oklahoma, that's fine. Oh, and stay out of Texas. Don't go through the Texas Panhandle and up through New Mexico either. We just don't think the cops are up to speed. So they told them, go down to Paducah, get on Route 60, take that across so you can go around the bottom tip of Illinois. When you get to Springfield, Missouri, then you can hop on the interstate and go down to Tulsa and go through the Cimarron Turnpike out to the Panhandle and go up through Boise City and into Kentucky, go around Kansas. Well, that was the intention. These truckers decided they were going to stay on Route 60, and what do you know? They didn't go down through Tulsa. They didn't get on the Cimarron Turnpike. They went across from, what was it, Grove, I think, or Langley, and then they went over to Bartlesville and then through Pawhuska. Pawhuska's in Osage County. It's an Indian reservation, according to the locals there. The tribe claims their reservation status. They got one stoplight. One stoplight. They couldn't get through the stoplight before it turned red. It was 3 in the morning. Well, a cop decides, you know what, I got some activities. It's probably been a boring night up to then, and pulls him over, and what do you know, this car is following along was actually security detail. I mean, the purchaser in Colorado wanted to make sure his, that everything was going to be good. So he hired his own security people. It was a team of 4 doing this caravan. Well, the Pawhuska police haven't updated the way they check for probable cause. Their testing does a simple yes or no. Is there THC? Well, hemp is going to have trace amounts of THC, but it's still legal in all 50 states because it's just trace amounts. Well, that wasn't good enough. So they decided to arrest him. They decided, asset forfeiture is pretty nice when you can, grab a semi-truck. And, I mean, that'll get you a lot of new police department toys if you can cash in and sell one of those on the market. So they're pretty excited. Well, here it is over a week later, and that hemp is still out there. It's rotting. It's about $500,000 payload. The Pawhuska police aren't going to budge. They're not going to budge. And now they're waiting for the DEA to come in and do a full-fledged test. Problem is, our federal government's shut down. They don't know when the DEA is going to get here. And again, the guy sat in jail for a long time. I think they bailed out now. But, we're just looking like idiots, folks. We're just looking like idiots. Pawhuska, get with the program here. You got punked. Own up to it. Okay? Send the guys on their way. I know you've got a new district attorney up there. I think Rex Duncan would have handled this just fine, as district attorney, but I guess the Osage County people decided they wanted Fisher, somebody new. I'm telling you, folks, Oklahoma needs to get with the system. Pay attention to the news. Get your updates. It's time we get things. District attorneys, attorney general, get with the program here. Let's get, we're just humiliating our own state. This is a national news item. Well, that's it from page 5 in a moment here. Stay tuned for page 6. Okay, we've got more news, and yes, we're still on the drug war issues here. The tyranny of the OBNDD, that's the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotic and Dangerous Drugs. Greg Mashburn's at the helm. Well, it seems Greg decided he's going to stick his nose in medical marijuana because he still thinks that it's a recreational drug abuse issue. He just can't let it go. Let it go, Greg. Let it go. You know what he did? He got Governor Fallon to sign some emergency rules giving the OBNDD oversight over the medical marijuana business. Mind you, State Question 788 specifically says that this is under the purview and oversight of the Oklahoma Department of Health. And even then, they're limited on what they can do. The legislature needs to step in, and they're going to, all right? We got 2,800 bills. Believe me, we still haven't seen the real bills on medical marijuana. Our interim study, the bicameral interim study on medical marijuana is going to be releasing, their legislation. We're going to get this fixed. But you don't help matters, OBN. You don't, Mashburn. Now, this is tyranny. When a government agency doesn't stay within the confines of what they're empowered to do by law, they become tyrants. And the OBN, I guess they feel like they are insecure about their jobs and their mandate. Marijuana was a pretty lucrative thing, kept a lot of them in business. In fact, that asset forfeiture is a pretty sweet gig for them. That's unaccounted for money. They can just grab people's belongings. They can grab cash. They can grab anything. and it's up to you to prove that you aren't a druggie when it comes to asset forfeiture. Now, we have got to fix this, and I'm asking you, Governor Kevin Stitt, rescind these emergency rules. I'm asking you, my fellow Oklahomans, call the governor's office, demand that he rescind the emergency rules that Mary Fallin silently, quietly signed into force back at the beginning of this month on July 4th. The Oklahoma Department of Health, it took them some work. You know, they were a bit arrogant back in July, but they got in line. Thank you, Mike Hunter. You helped get them straightened out, helped them to understand the limits of their authority. Mike Hunter, it's time you talk to the OBNDD. You know Greg Mashburn. You can work with him. Tell him he's off basis. Folks, we need to get this fixed. We need to take care of it now. I'm telling you, you screw this up, the people are going to sign a petition to get recreational marijuana now because they're fed up. I want to wait a couple of years. I want us to have a couple of years of seeing what medical marijuana does so we can watch our loved ones, our family members, our parents, our children, whoever's got a serious enough condition that it warrants the prudent use under a doctor's care. Then we'll have a better idea where our prohibition policy needs to be. But we need to take a couple of years. We need to do this right. Majority Leader Eccles and I are on the same page about this. If we screw this up, the people are going to revolt. It's time we follow the law. Lawmakers, law enforcers, it's time you follow the law, just like you expect us to. OBNDD is a bunch of tyrants. And now this from page 7. Welcome back to Sooner Politics Weekend Report. This is David Van. We're on page 7. Let's talk about what Tulsa did this week. This was exciting. I got to be a part of this. Tulsa hosted a major cannabis research symposium. It was put on by Laureate Institute of Brain Research, one of the finest such facilities in the nation. It's part of the Warren Clinic system, part of St. Francis Hospital. It was actually the Warren Foundation paid for the whole thing. Paid for it. People involved in healthcare, mental health, providers, what have you. Pharmacists, doctors, nurses, therapists, counselors, they were all invited. I've been a pretty strong advocate of mental health. I asked to go, and they invited me. Some amazing things came up from this. Amazing research, things that have not even yet been published in the medical journals. And we're just seeing some fantastic things going. Watch in the next few weeks, you're going to hear some things about it. Laureate really did us right. Now, a lot of doctors were there because, any healthcare clinician needs, and, mental health clinician needs continuing education credit units and to keep their license. That's a good system. You want your healthcare people, your mental health people, always be learning, always be getting up to speed on what's going on. So this was a good one. The funny thing is, our state medical board really didn't hardly say boo about it. Now they're pitching another one by the Medical Association, which is a bunch of crap. I'm sorry, I'm going to be blunt about it. The people who are embracing this new healthcare tool, the cannabis medicines, are treating it as a healthcare program, as a healthcare innovation. It's old medicine. In fact, one of the things I learned, Eli Lilly was selling a tincture of cannabis CBD oil with THC back in 1909. It was a staple item with many pharmacists, many healthcare workers, doctors. It was a homeopathic remedy, as most of our medicines once were. So we're going to see a lot of good things, and those of us who are really excited for something better than what we've seen, things that have happened, breakthroughs, relief, it's just incredible stuff. And we got to hear about them on Thursday. We had a fantastic Dr. Francisca Philby, neuroscience researcher from the University of Texas in Dallas, was able to show, by use of CAT scans, real physical, substantive evidence that has debunked a lot of the old wives' tales, the slacker stereotype of a cannabis user. Her evidence shows that that's not the case. That's not the case. At least not in the first 6 years of somebody using cannabis medicines. And even then, you would have to massively take huge doses before you'd start to see any downside. And that's, again, after probably 6 years or more that you just start to see it. Well, just about every medicine's got its side effects. And continued use over time of just about any medicine is going to take a toll on you. I mean, I'm a teetotaler. I want to keep my body as healthy as it can be. And I'm having a hard enough time doing that. I don't need more drugs. I mean, folks, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But for people whose bodies and minds are broken, this is fantastic breakthroughs that we're seeing. The problem was, there are also people there who are against it, completely against it. All of their arguments was approaching this as though it was recreational. So it was a good symposium, but it was really a fractured symposium. I'd say 2/3 of the people there were cautiously supportive of cannabis medicine, looking for answers, looking for better results, looking for better quality of life for themselves and the people they care for. So, but the people who are against it, including some people in the medical fields, I mean, man, our medical societies, what a bunch of groupthink gone to seed. They have really got problems. We need an overhaul of how we treat our medical doctors. By law, we basically punish people for being innovators. If that were the case 30 years ago, we'd probably still be taking ulcer medicines and never actually getting our ulcers cured. The way pharmaceuticals trashed a lonely coroner from the outback of Australia, who first discovered that as a simple antibiotic would cure ulcers. This is the kind of problem we have with the pharmaceuticals controlling our health care, and with the groupthink that's dominating the way our medical boards are run with peer review. You got a lot of jealousy going on. A lot of people who just want to criticize anything that's different than them. In fact, we had the administrative laureate just flat out say, you do not want to stretch beyond the comfortable middle of what is acceptable standard care, the way it's always been done. But Laureate Institute for Brain Research had the boldness to do something special. Dr. Clancy, University of Tulsa, was gracious in opening his facilities to let us meet there. I'm excited about this, and I hope we see more of this. It was great to have people from the University of Colorado Boulder talk about what's going on up there, things going on. We're talking about international studies. Israel's miles ahead of us in studying this. Canada's miles ahead of us. The problem is our FDA won't even let them submit international studies. You see, our government thinks if we don't invent it, it doesn't exist. And this is a problem. All right, we're going on to page 8. We're almost done tonight. Thank you for sticking with me. This is David Mann with Sooner Politics. And now this. Welcome back. We're going to wrap up tonight on Sooner Politics Weekend Resort with our final report. And again, yes, cannabis medicine's been the theme this week just because there's so many breaking news items going on. The Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority is reporting an uptick in number of people seeking their medical marijuana license. Now, during the first couple of months, we've been seeing about 1,000 people a week getting authorized for treatment under their doctor's direction and care and recommendations for medical marijuana. But something happened around Thanksgiving. Ever since then, all into December, all of December, and now we're halfway through January, and now we're at 2,200 people a week on average getting their medical marijuana license. Now, the dispensaries, we had a big boom right off the bat first month, bunch of them. And there's still some more people getting licensed for dispensaries. But it started out, in October, we had about one dispensary license given out for every 10 patients. Well, the economics of that isn't going to work. If you only have 10 patients on average a month, you can't keep the doors open. Now we're up to 36, 37 patients per dispensary license. Now, one of the things you got to factor into this is we have home grow for our patients. We have a lot of patients that maybe early on they're going to buy it. But long term, if this is something that's working for them and in consultation with their doctor, and their doctor's saying, this looks like it's working better than, let's say, your benzodiazepines. Or, this is working better than the opiate pain medicine. Or this is working better than, you can keep on going with your chemotherapy now because you've got your nausea taken care of. Maybe we're going to lick this cancer before it destroys you. Or, children with epilepsy, seizures, constantly. Your brain can't develop when it's constantly being interrupted with seizures. We may have real hope for these kids. We may have hope for the Parkinson's patients who just one drop of CBD oil, if it's the right kind that works with their body, all of a sudden they can get up and walk without shaking, they can talk and be understood, and they get their life back. It's amazing, folks. It's amazing what we're seeing happen here. It's just sad that our government has tied us in knots, has refused to let probably 98% of the requests for medical tests. They won't. And now we're starting to see it. Now the National Institutes of Drug Abuse is actually loosening up on cannabis medicine. The FDA starting to loosen up on it. I think we're turning the corner, folks. We're starting to get past the reefer madness legacy of the second half of the 20th century. I think we're going to get somewhere in this. But here's the thing, the dollars and cents. Okay, you want your growers to be able to get their product to market at the lowest cost possible, where they can still stay in business, and yet at a wholesale price, your processors that are turning this into oils, tinctures, edibles, all the different specialty medicines. And for some, vaping is, for many, the most ideal way to deliver the product, especially people with panic attacks and PTSD and anxiety disorders. But so we've got to get that processing in. We could kill them by over-regulating them and make it impossible for our suffering patients to have something. Keep in mind, we can't order this stuff from China. We can't even order it from Colorado. The law is it must be grown in Oklahoma. It must be processed in Oklahoma. It must be purchased by the licensed patients from a licensed dispensary in Oklahoma. We need to provide our sick people this medicine in our state. So we have to have a sustainable system. Now, I don't want a regulated, centralized, controlled rationing out of licenses. It never works, folks. It doesn't bring out the very best in entrepreneurship. You want the competitiveness of a true free enterprise system. Now, these fellas here with CBD Plus, they've got a chain of dispensaries. They've been selling CBD oil without THC for some time. And, you know, they're pretty successful. What we really need to see is for every, say, 80 or 90 patients on average, one dispensary open. Right now, there's about 800 licenses out there for dispensaries, but many of them, most of them, have not opened up. We probably have, I would guess, somewhere around 200 to 250 dispensaries of varying amounts of hours of operation. You know, some of them very busy. Some of them are little mom and pop shop in Wilburton, for instance. Not a lot of business, not a lot of customers yet, but by God, they want to take care of the people in their community. So that's good. It's good for the economy of Oklahoma. So get this. Just in December, we're barely having product trickling in. I mean, our first crop's coming in. The Oklahoma Tax Commission reports $1 million in cannabis sales in December. They can't hardly keep a product on the shelf. $1 million in sales. 7% interest plus they're being subjected to local sales tax. So it's helping the communities. It's helping, to take care of paving the streets, providing, core community services. We've got to find a way to make this work, and Sooner Politics is continuing expanded coverage on the medical marijuana industry. There's too many people that are too hurting, too sick, struggling, they're in pain, they need help. And I want to see Oklahoma step up on this. I'm David Vann for Sooner Politics. Thank you for being with me tonight. This has been a special report on the medical marijuana industry in Oklahoma. Hope you have a good weekend. Stay warm. Have a good night.